Hi everyone, Donna here with Bookkeeping Made Simple, and today I'm going to talk about a simple truism that I've heard millions and millions of times, and that is the idea that you can't manage what you don't measure, and that which gets measured gets managed. So what do we do to take advantage of this? As always, if you enjoy the show, please like, share, and subscribe. We are going to talk as always, if you enjoy the show, please like, share, and subscribe. That is how I grow my channel. I appreciate all of my listeners and viewers. And if there's a specific topic you'd like me to cover, feel free to drop it in the comments section, especially on YouTube. I do read the comments and I appreciate all of you. So let's dive in. It is just the way it is that, especially in a workplace, the things that get managed are the ones that get measured. And if you have some sort of a KPI or key performance indicator that you're measuring and you let your team know about it, or your team, your partners, whoever it is that you're working with, that is what's going to happen. You're going to be able to take care of the things that you actually manage. So what is it that we manage, especially in an accounting perspective? Well, first thing we manage is, what is our net income? What are our expenses? What was our revenue? What does our top line dollar look like? How much did we have in sales? How much did we need to spend to get those sales? So there's a lot of things that we can manage. And the very, very first one I would say is, in order to generate a top line income, that is your gross revenue, we need to find out, how much does it cost you to make those sales? What do you need to do? So there's some things that can happen. Some of these we do it from an accounting standpoint, and some of these things we can certainly help you set up to manage on your own. And the number one thing is to ask your incoming customers and prospects, where did you hear about us? In my own business's case, most of our clients either come from some strategic partnerships we've created or from Google. So we want to know, where did you hear about us? What made you reach out to us? Is another really good question. And that asks, one, how did you hear about us? Which I always want to know. Did you hear about us from a billboard, from a search engine, from a paid advertisement? Did you hear from us from networking? That's going to tell me, as I grow the business, where I need to put my salespeople. So, and where I need to put my sales efforts. If I am not sure where my sales are coming from, I don't know where to spend the money. Back in the day, it was really easy. You put out a full page ad in the yellow pages. Oh, if you're under 30, they used to send out books, paper books with everybody's names and phone numbers in it. And in the yellow pages section was the business section. And you could just flip to the section of the service or product that you wanted. And it wasn't very granular. But still, if you were looking for pest control businesses in Seattle, you would go to P for pest control. And you would look through all of those listings and advertisements. Listings were free, advertisements were not. And you could select your business from there. It's a little bit tougher today. The yellow pages has vanished. Nobody uses it anymore. We all use Google. And so I want to know, did you hear about me on Google? Did you hear about me on DuckDuckGo? Did you find my listing on LinkedIn? Did you hear about me from social media at all? And that's going to help me figure out where it is that I should concentrate my advertising dollars. I also want to know, how many sales were made per salesperson? Well, right now in my own business, it's just me. I'm the only one doing sales. I have a staff that does the accounting and bookkeeping, but I do the sales. I talk to the clients, I get them onboarded. But, pretty soon we're going to be hiring someone new, and I'm going to want to know what kind of revenue they're bringing in versus what kind I'm bringing in. And that's going to let me know, especially if you have a large sales team, do the lower performers need more training, or are they just not performing? And it will also let me know who my top performers are so that I can reward them appropriately. I need to know, especially since I have a service-based company and our revenue depends on, we use a flat rate pricing model. So I need to know, does this client take up a lot more time. So there is a report I can run inside of QuickBooks. It's profit and loss by customer. And I can look and see, is this customer costing me more in labor charges than I'm bringing in? And that's one of the things I do look at. We always want to be fair with our clients, but we want to make sure that we ourselves are turning a profit as well. We also, a typical one is gross profit margin. That's especially critical for restaurants and grocery stores that operate on razor thin margins. Believe it or not, the gross profit margin for a restaurant or a grocery store runs about 2%. They don't make a lot of money. They make it up in volume. So they have to turn over, in the case of a restaurant, they need to turn over those tables quick so that their waitresses and the business owner can make a lot of money, because they're not marking up the food costs very much. They're trying to keep prices low. So they typically operate on razor thin margins. So they need to know exactly how much food is being wasted. We call that shrinkage, by the way, inventory shrinkage. We need to know that number. How much of your inventory is going to shrinkage? And shrinkage is everything from, in the case of a restaurant, it would be food waste, food that spoiled or got to the sell-by date or the use-by date and wasn't used, and that now needs to be thrown away. Or if you have a retail store, your shrinkage is probably due to theft. And those are things that we want to know about and measure. If you have a trucking company, we want to know how much fuel you're using per mile and how much fuel you're using per job per day, so that we can figure out what should be budgeted for the upcoming week, or the upcoming month, or however many days it is until you get paid. And we also want to know, is there anything that we can do to improve your fuel mileage so that you don't have to spend quite so much when you're paying $200 or $300 or $400 or $500 a day in fuel. If you're paying $1,000 to fill up your truck, and a lot of truckers are doing that these days, then we need to know right away if that financial piece is going up due to changes in the price of fuel, or if you're just using more fuel due to maybe you have a driver that has bad driving habits that's running your fuel costs up. But if we know, we can start investigating causes. So those are some of the things that we look at to measure. And that's one of the things that certainly we can talk to you about what needs to happen inside of your business, what you need to measure, and that does vary by business. Let me think, some of the others. I've had construction general contractors tell me that we needed to track their materials because they did believe that there was some shrinkage going on there, that they had employees that were taking some. And most importantly, who has access to your bank accounts? We have, let me rephrase that. I am aware of trucking companies that will actually open separate bank accounts for their drivers to fill up their trucks, so that the drivers at the end of the day can fill the truck and then they don't have to worry about it. This is a great idea. It keeps the driver from completely draining the main operating account. It also creates some accountability, that we know what debit card was tied to that, or we know what credit card, whatever is tied to that account. So we know which driver is spending the most in fuel. So if you are concerned about why your business isn't performing, and especially if you have some suspicions, give us a call. We'd be more than happy to talk to you about it. We would love to help you figure out what you need to measure and then help you measure it. So feel free to reach out. All of my contact information is in the description below, and I will talk to you again soon.